Hello and welcome back to the One Arm No Legs podcast. I'm Adam and my co-host is
Ryan O'Connor. How are you, say?
We have CJ with us today.
Hi. Name's CJ. From the Cine program, working with Kippie games out of London, Derry, and hard to say. I do a bit of everything at the moment.
There's happy days. And are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying the Cine experience?
Yeah, I'd say it's different. Coming out of uni, you're kind of wondering what you want to do, and yeah, kind of fumble around trying to find your opportunities. And then I stumbled upon Northern Ireland Screen and Cine through Get Got job website. And I was looking at it and I was like, that looks pretty good. That looks like it's one of those things where this doesn't look real. Why would they be this helpful, this open, this supportive when you're young and you look at the industry and the media industry and it's like needs 5 years experience to get into this junior position.
Yeah.
Whereas
see, I always have an argument with that one because how are you meant to get experience if you can't get experience?
Exactly.
It's one of them things. You're just like, oh, I can do all that stuff. Oh, where have you experienced it? Myself, because that's the only way I can.
Yeah, I've danced around a few different areas. I'm 29 now, so I'm like surprised. I'm gonna turn to a fossil in like 6 months.
You're on a week there.
A week.
Yeah, a week of anything.
But I've covered the different things, trying to figure out what my niche is, trying to figure out where I'm gonna land, and doing with Kippie up there. They're teaching young girls 7 to 14 how to do 2D games design. Gave them like a choice. It's kind of like an after school club choice. You don't have to do STEM or whatever. You like games, you like making art.
Yeah.
Come to here, we'll give you a little bit of skills. Yeah, and then maybe further on the line, you're like, actually, I can do something creative, because I know I definitely picked for like the STEM kind of like here's what would be good in society to do this job, and didn't like it, so went and done my A-levels again in college and found it's like, do you want film, TV, media? Pretty sound.
Is that what you studied at college as well?
Yeah. I got good grades for it, but it always felt like, you're definitely making for a grade. You're not really, unless you're being creative outside of that, you're basically just working towards grades. And it's that's why I came on to here, because I've done a bunch of that, and I was like, okay, now I want to actually get into the industry, and found that about 10 months trying to get in different positions, lower positions, taking stab at higher positions, and they always come back with, we want to take the risk on you. Might not have the experience, might not have the portfolio.
Yeah.
Not to be anything. I'm sure he's probably
Portfolio
being a scary word.
And were you always interested in the industry before you came on there?
I think it's like, probably get into it later, but finding out that I'm like neurodivergent, and that one of my kind of like, I wouldn't say coping mechanisms, one of my safe spaces would be like making things, media, video games, reading, being creative. And it's like, you know what, I like this, because I was originally being pushed down the becoming like a network engineer, because I was doing IT, and it's like any person grows up that's into computers, you're pushed into IT. It's like, you can do computers, and it's like, yeah, but I can't do coding. I can't do coding, so that's kind of stops you.
It's one of the hard ones to do, because you have to know your science and maths background as well.
And it's like,
it's not as simple as going, here's a code, put it on there.
Yeah, it's more like, do you know this specific code? Do you know what this wire does? Do you know what this does? And it's like, I know. But no, I went through there and done a whole bunch of different things. Grew up quite a lot, because it's like, I'm on my own. There's no family in this country. No one person. They're 2 hours away. How do you get them? Well, it takes 4 hours by train. Thanks, England. That's helpful. You can't just get on a bus from Belfast to like London, Derry. You can't just get a train down to Dublin in 2 hours. You can't just do it. So it's learning a bunch of different things. But I am proud to say I said yes to like every opportunity that came across, because I was like, I haven't got this opportunity before. So it's like, oh, yes, sure, I'll do that. Yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'll do that.
No, but I think you're right when it comes to like opportunity. Like, take every opportunity you get, because you never know when they might come along again, or if they will ever come again. So, it's one of them things. But no, so when you went to university, have you finished university yet? Or?
Yeah, I graduated in the summer of 2022. I'm a Bachelor of Art for first class honors degree.
Very good.
That's great.
That's brilliant.
And what I like to say, it's been worth it, but I did have that uncertainty for a bit as a graduate, and I wasn't able to work in a portfolio. So it's like, what am I really using this for? And like, but then my degree, my effort, the work I put into it got me into the Cine program for like, well, you're qualified, you got the talent, you got the interest, you got the drive for it. And like, so I'm with some guys now, and it's like, this isn't what I studied directly, but I studied in digital media, so it's a catch-all term for doing different bits of pieces. You'll do something in photography, maybe do something in animation, film, TV, radio, 3D modeling, games. So it lets you
bit of everything.
Yeah, like it lets you find your niche. Like over 3 years, you're going to find out what you want to do.
And have you figured out what it is you want to do specifically, or are you still like?
You're still thinking.
Have you still like options where you're like, oh, I would love to do that, but I might want to do that as well?
See, that's the problem, because I came across someone saying, have you ever considered doing your master's? And I'm like, oh no. I thought I was out of education, but now you're putting the thought in my head, and it sounds good.
Now you're thinking more education in my no.
It's one of them, like, if you asked me a year ago would I have even thought about going to university in September, I would have said not a chance. Whereas now it's like, oh crap, it might be my only option.
Yeah, what did you want to go on? What are you
I'm going over, well, I've already got into Northumbria over in Newcastle, and I'm hoping to do film and television studies, but I'm starting in year 2 rather than starting from scratch, because I've already got most of the subjects from year 1 done already through my college
because
stuff.
Yeah, they'll ask you, do you want to start from the start, or you have the qualifications to get into this year? Do you want to do it? It might be weird. It might be you might feel out of place for a couple of months, but you'll find your stride and you fall into it. I definitely was like for my third year. It's like, hey, 14 other people I don't know, and you don't know me. Hi, I'm your new your new person. And it's different. It's being able, like the whole idea of saying yes to every option to do it. 'Cause I wouldn't have considered going abroad, basically, to England to study, or I wanted to go to Scotland originally to do bachelor's in digital media production. Similar to what you're doing here. You're learning a bit of everything. You're primarily in film. But I thought, oh no, I can't leave the country. I can't on my own. That's such a big thing, and only now, having a roundabout way of doing it through here, realizing, I could have went there.
I mean, you still can. There's nothing stopping you. It's just
I could, but
I mean, like I'm 30 next week, and I'm going to university, like so.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, do I want to go and do further education, or do I want to do what every single parent says? Get a job. It's not going to get you a job. Get a job. I'm like, but it's you're new in the industry, and you're tackling your parents, other people with the older views of the industry, and you're like, well, things are changing, and you kind of, if you want to do it, you commit to it, and you're like, I might be 33 at the end of this, but who cares? I'm setting myself up for better.
I always believe, like, especially when it comes to other adults that are telling you to do it, they're telling you to do something that they don't understand in your regard. Like, like between me, you and Adam here, we know how the industry works because we've had a taste of it in some way or another. So we know where the doors are and where we have to go to slide in each door. But at the same time, we know it's a difficult job to do. So whereas adults who don't know much or anything about the industry are just like, oh, no, you'll never get on that, or you'll never be able to do that. And it's like, you don't know that because you don't know what I'm seeing and what I'm,
it's that weird thing, because I'm like, come from like a lower class family, and you're like, if you're the first person in your family, or even one of the few people in your family to go to higher education, it's like you immediately just went from here to here in terms of distancing yourself from your family's lived experience. You're now on a completely different track, and it's like, you'll learn so much different things. And like, I know, especially from like, I'm coming to the end of my Cine internship. It's called the Cine scheme, but it's an internship. It is an internship, very much, isn't it? And we've kind of done a lot of different things. I've been working from home more recently, and it opens your eyes to different things, and you get spoiled a little. Work on the Cine schemes, because they're very, very nice. Bringing in people to like, and that's not being sarcastic, but they are actually very nice, and bringing in people that are from marginalized communities, otherwise differently abled. I consider myself disabled because I might be more invisible illness, invisible difficulties, and bringing in, being like, well, I got the chance to talk to them, like, why did you bring us in? And they're like, well, you showed passion, interest. You're not that you're different, but you'll bring a different view. You'll bring perspectives in, and it's like, we want to give you the chance. And it's like, do you want? I want to tackle this. I want to try this. And like, I definitely was hovering over the submit application button.
Oh, and I was like, you had to do an application. Yeah, I was about to ask because I was thinking, because I had to do one. I had to put in like a video pitch of myself before to get it. Did you have to do through the 10 places like a boot camp?
No, we had a different. We had to go through your application, and you had to go through an interview. The video interview, and then that's like, oh, they're going to assess your character. They're going to figure out where they can place you, and then to come back to you, it's like, well, you got it.
I think that's mostly what it's about, is just personality and passion is sort of the main two main things they always look for in the mirror type of
because that's what
schemes.
I heard we went for it's like kind of day trip down to like I think the Now Playlist Festival, which is like a games festival, but it's using different ways to tell games.
Was this in Dublin?
No, it was in this one was in England. It was in London, I think. Okay. But they're like people doing different ways to tell games or play games, and I was like, not just physical games, but they were playing a game with like making like a giant chess set kind of thing. And you have people that are
so like real life Minecraft basically.
Yeah, so it's like they're doing all these weird different artistic ways of teaching games. But I met someone there that was like talking about, the industry, and I was saying, what do you look for when you're doing an application? They're like, well, half the time we want to do like a little informal interview, and we'll just go to a coffee shop, we'll just chat. And that you're there to chat, but they're also going to be in the back of their head assessing you, trying to get a gauge for your character. Because at the end of the day, you want to be there and work with people that are good, and they want to bring people in that are passionate, and not fit with their vibe, their atmosphere, but don't want to be, I won't say like problematic, but want to be a good fit.
Of course.
So if they're like, yes, your application is going to be part of it, your CV is going to be part of it, your portfolio is going to be part of it, but your personality, that could get you in more so than your personality.
Yeah.
And then who knows, ideal situation, 5 years later, you're running the department,
Yeah.
But just because you took that random chance, and it's...
So, after your Cine, like, the scheme is like finished, like what would be like, what would you do next? That day?
Well, I know the ladies I'm with they're on a scheme from NI Screen to get funding to make their own games, so they want to break into doing games themselves rather than edutainment, but actually going and making their own game. It would be nice to stay with them.
Yeah.
Because they're really down to earth, really cool, really genuine. It's not super corporate. They're pretty much a startup, so they're coming up as...
It's sort of like when Apple started, it was just out of a garage type
and
thing.
And it's like, to be fair, the two founders are sisters.
Yeah.
And the main artist is one of the sister's wives. So it's a very much a small, tight-knit kind of thing. And they're dead on.
Family-oriented.
Yeah, it's like, I like to stay on with you. You're good people, I like your mission, what you're trying to do. It's inspired me definitely to want to continue and want to look into that and explore a bunch of different things. And through Kippie, we've learned how to do 2D games, basic 2D games, done some quality assurance testing, make sure things are right, done a bit of research, doing a bit of video production with them, which I done in my levels, but it's been a while, so it's been a journey trying to relearn that.
Yeah.
But all the different trainees, I think there's about 9 of us. I'm with another person at my place, and there's about 8 others spread out at different studios in Northern Ireland, mainly outside County Antrim, mainly I would imagine.
Yeah.
But they're all different levels of different studios. Ones that are fully into games development, or making games. They've made 10 games already, or they're making their first game, or they're doing like XR, AR, kind of VR, kind of. They're mixing with different tech.
The new technology.
It's like it's different because we're with a little startup, and it's like a different vibe, but it's been helpful because it lets us be a bit more open, a bit more easy to try and learn things, and it's not super pressured. Like I'd be happy to join one of the other studios, But we got placed via, I think, our interviews. And they're like, oh, you seem like you'd be a good fit here. So you'll pair you up there, and it's been a good fit. Don't know, like after the internship's done, it's undecided. But we work from home, so we're just kind of like rock out of bed in the morning, hop on the laptop. What can I do?
Pretend to work.
Well, it's funny when you work on your own computer, and it's like someone will come in, be thinking you're playing a game or doing something else, and it's like, you're actually working. Just because I've got a game on the screen doesn't mean I'm playing games.
That's during breaks.
During breaks, it is playing.
I'm doing, but we get the joke that if it's a 3D game, if you see me playing a 3D game, you definitely know I'm not doing work.
Yeah.
Because we don't do 3D at Kippie, But I can easily just joke and say, it's just market research.
It's just research, don't worry. Still doing some work, I swear.
Yeah, but it's fun times, and it's what I love about, I guess, being on the Cine scheme, because it's bringing in, like, I wouldn't have got in other, but you go into apply to a studio and be like, oh, I'm just a number and you don't have any need to hire me. Yeah. And I'm just faceless. But you come into the scheme and you meet all these different people. You get the opportunity to do different events, and you might just show up at your workspace one day. You're at the Innovation Factory. I'm at Ormo Baths. And someone might be there, and turns out, oh, they're the CEO of like this studio. Yeah. Or, oh, they're in charge of like giving funding to all these different things. Oh, they're the CEO of Northern Ireland Screen. And you're like, and it's like, and you just kind of chat, and they do like I think it's like every Monday or the new month, they have like a coffee morning. Yeah. And you have just people chatting, and you just walk in, like, so-and-so in there, and there, and you just get chatting, and you're like, oh yeah, so I'm like the director of like this game studio. I'm like,
cool.
Yeah. Oh, hi.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
You're having a conversation until he mentioned it.
And it's like, oh,
you're very high importance.
Or when they say, so, oh yeah, how are you? And you're like, what if I don't know? And it's like, no, you should. And it's like, you're doing good stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's really good. But it's been different, and it's I don't know, it's one of the things, it's hard to explain unless you're doing it. Each experience is different.
Oh, I'm the CEO of that game, and how are you? I'm very high up in the industry.
Yeah, I had that at university. They made us do an end of year show where you showcase your work. Yeah. And you have to go in, and I'm standing there beside our project, and someone comes in and says, oh yeah, I'm the CEO of like Hypixel, and it's like, or I'm the CEO of like the studio that makes like RuneScape. And it's like, oh yeah, we're just down the road. It's like, oh yeah, it's like that person over there, they're like in marketing, or like that person there, here. It's like, oh no, are we being headhunted? Is that what this whole event's for? And then after that, like, I got linked in with so many different people, and it's like, oh, this is cool, because now
it opened doors for
it. It opens doors, and it might have just been a weird, slightly awkward conversation about something silly you
exactly.
Like we like, our final project was in Minecraft, which is really funny to say when you graduated from an art school. But it was mixed multimedia. Like, how many different ways can you tell a story? And it's like, pitching the idea, it's like, well, you can do a machinima, kind of like a animated show in Minecraft, and every single person in our class being like, do we get to play Minecraft for our degree? Yeah. That sounds pretty freaking fun.
Yeah. That sounds amazing.
So we kind of jumped on it, and we done a bunch of different things, and we managed to effectively tell a story in Minecraft. But I wanted to go further. I figured out how to do it in VR. Yeah. So I'm here to stand with a really silly old Oculus Rift headset, because that's the only thing that connects to Minecraft these days, and it gives you headaches and it gives you nausea. Yeah. It's the first headset. And it's like, but it works, and everyone's putting it on, trying out, and be like, yo, this is pretty cool. And it's like, how do you do that? It's like, well, blah, 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 blah. But I was like, just one part of a greater project. Yeah. I think it's called the New Canterbury Tales. Yeah. And it was like, this is fun. This is different. I thought, let's just try it. And that's given me the perspective and the determination. It's like, let's just try a thing. Mm-hmm. I pitched a little video project to Kippie. They had ideas of doing something video, but they didn't have anyone to do it. I think that's why we're here. We're here to help them do things that they couldn't do, and give them assistance. But at the end of the day, we're a no risk asset for them.
Exactly.
But the ideal situation is we come out with the skills, the training, the contacts, the networking. Yeah. That Well, there's 9 different studios paired with a scheme.
I've heard of Pixel, like I think that's the only studio I've heard of recently.
It's like, who to say that maybe they're looking someone, or maybe a couple months down the line, they're like, oh, we're looking for work. You wanna come on, do some contract work, whatever, So it gets you out there, but primarily just getting your feet wet, I think.
So you say you know what you've done and you know what you can do, and then when you go into a studio, it helps build more to it then.
Yeah.
So
that's what I think. I come in today and it's like, oh yeah, I introduce you. It's like, oh yeah, I got told of this opportunity. You guys doing a podcast with which bringing light to so many different aspects and issues, and for also it's young people doing a podcast kind of for aimed at our own age range, but also to kind of show everyone else, like, this is what we're capable of, this is what we're doing.
Showing people that we do have a good mindset, like everyone else, and we're passionate about these things, and all we're asking for is an opportunity to show you what we can do. And as you've just explained there, how much you've done for the gaming industry and stuff.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like,
that's why I came into it. I wanted to see what it's like, because obviously you're on for a year, and there's no risk to the person you're placed with.
Yeah.
There's no real risk to you. You may find out at the end of the year, actually, I don't really want to go into film, or maybe I want to sidestep into digital media. I want to sidestep into games. You've still got like the skills. You still kind of a bit of. I'm no longer estranged to this industry. I kind of have a bit of an idea of
where to go. You have the skills to have a plan B to D. Like,
you get. I think primarily you get that confidence boost. I think that's the main thing. Like, I suffer from like really like anxiety. We're still with the doctors trying to figure out is what specific flavor do I have.
Just a flavor.
Just a flavor.
But like we're finding out it's difficult for me to put myself out there.
Yeah.
And do this, but you're getting a lot. You're weirdly enough you're getting life skills by doing it, because you're trying different things. You're having to, like, if you're in a studio that does dailies, you have to learn how to do dailies. You have to explain something really quickly, like you do your elevator pitches. You have to be able to be concise, consistent.
Oh yeah.
You have to work the deadlines. You have to work times.
Well, do you work together, if you ask me, with those like pitches?
So at the moment, we primarily work at home, and we'll hop on the Discord, and we'll chat in our voice chat, and it's a bit weird. It's like I use Discord for like chatting, gaming. It's like, oh yeah, we're operating on Discord now, and it's like you find, because we have a NI game dev network, which is a collection of like indie developers, bigger developers, small studios, students, aspirants, and coming together for the whole community. And like, it's a bit weird being like, oh no, my work is now in the casual place, but so it's a bit weird sometimes. Just jump on Discord and voice chat and just chill and talk and share screen. Oh, here, this is what I'm doing. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then you just pop off and you're like, okay, now back to work. And it's like having the things like you're working on 2 screens. You got like your work here. You just pop over, turn around, do your work, and
play a wee game on the sideline.
Yeah, it's like I think that's like what I was told in university. You kind of get a bit of it here, is not to overwork yourself and not trying to prove yourself too much.
Yeah.
It's like you'll get where you're going, and there's like, well, if you're having, like they said to me, it's like, if you're having a bad day, you're having a bad day.
Yeah.
Don't try and push through. Don't try and push through if you're fatigued. Don't try and push through if you're having an anxiety attacks. Don't be trying to make up for lost time.
Yeah.
Sit and play a game for a bit, and then just come back to your work. Do a bit in pieces, and I'm lucky that people I'm with have been very supportive, and it's still in the back of my head, obviously, like I should be doing more. I'm not getting the most out of this.
I get that. I understand that.
But you have to.
I mean, if you're having a bad day, if your head's fried, don't try to push on. I remember doing like my A levels and stuff. My head was like fried. I remember, now I'm done for today. Just let me be for a minute.
Oh yeah, no, I'm like, not ashamed, but like willing to say that I definitely was burnt out when I finished university.
Yeah.
Like I pushed myself too
much.
too far, and without knowing that I was doing it. Because I was like, yes, I'm saying yes to everything, I'm doing all these things, but I'm taking on too much. Because I want to, and then you're kind of like, oh, yeah, okay. Now we're going to hit you with the triple threat. We're going to hit you with, oh, hey, you might be autistic. Hey, you may be HD. Or hey, have you considered your gender recently? And I was like, please don't. I'm trying to just, get by. And it's like, oh, but all these kind of different things pop up, and you're like kind of thinking, like, how do you even deal with this? And I'm racking my head with a lot of it.
Yeah.
Thankfully today, I'm on the track to getting support and help. But I wouldn't have done it, say, last year, because I would have been like, no, I'm stubborn. I want to do it myself. I want to prove. I want to prove
that's the mindset
that I can do it despite my own difficulties.
Yeah, I think a lot of people with disabilities will. I definitely do it. Like, I'm stubborn.
I do.
I try to do things myself, even when I sort of have an idea that I probably can't do it myself, but I'll still be like,
I can do it.
Let me try it. And then, if it works, it worked.
If
it doesn't, I just accept it then. And, okay, help me.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like
you begrudgingly ask for that help too. It's like,
no, I wouldn't say I wouldn't ask. I would say, go and do that now.
I'd be like, I'd just be like, oh yeah, I'll write it down and plan it. Be like, okay, this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, and then you get to the moment, it's like, you say something completely different, or they figure it out.
Yeah.
And like, oh, so that's what you're looking for? I'm like, yeah, yes, please. And I'm like, okay, well, come off me, we'll get sorted. I'm like, all right, sweet, got the stuff I need. And then you're like, okay, now I'm ready to do it. And then then it's like, for me, and it's like, and then the ADHD kicks in. It's like, hi, I've got it all in front of me. I've got all the notes, I got everything here. I'm sitting here like, but hi. And that's the thing I'm tackling most. I think it's more present working from home.
Yeah, I agree. Because at least if you're around people who work the same type of stuff,
and working in the work environment, maybe
not inspiration, but their work you might look and go, oh fuck, I know what I'm doing now then, and then you go and do it.
Yeah, I think that's like the fun thing, even working in the Pixel Mill, is you have so many different people in different small studios, different outlets, and like I think it's like, I remember I was sitting trying to figure out how to do this one thing in a program, and someone's just walking past with a cup of tea and was like, do you need any help? And I was like, sure. And they just sat down with me and figured out the issue, and they're off doing all the projects, and they're just sitting down like, oh, you look like you needed help, so I helped and helped me. I was like, it's actually pretty. So that was pretty nice, and like it helped, like that helped me get further in. But I stopped going there just because there's a bit of renovations happening, and it's a bit too noisy to work. So
I'm.
Is that why you're working from home now?
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck in the rut though, because now I'm too used to working from home. And oh no, I have to go into the city. Oh no, I have to actually wear something other than pajamas. Don't tell my boss. Like I know, I found that you're definitely wearing your tracksuit bottoms. But you're like professional up top. But I'm like, why?
Sometimes people just wear the shirt and have their shorts, boxer
shorts. Their buckets on.
I've like done that a few times, but like trying to tackle it. Yeah. You're like, okay, let's figure out how to tackle this, and you'll change up your routine, you'll try and change how much you're doing, or you'll figure out different ways to cope. And like it's like the term, it sounds bad when you say it, but it's like self-medicating using caffeine. It's like you'll use not Monster or anything like that, but like
just a Red Bull.
It's like there's one thing I found called New Tonic, which is like a productivity drink. It's called a productivity drink, and I was like,
that sounds right. Yeah, that's
it's like it's made by a bunch of like sport fitness personal trainers that have they say, we've tried all the different kind of nonsense and it's all rubbish. Of course. You get too many highs, you get the highs and then you just crash. And they said, I think it's like not trying to plug it, but for the fact that it works in terms of it has caffeine in it, obviously, but it has like some herbal stuff that helps balance out the highs. Yeah. So you have that bit of focus and like trying stuff like that, trying to eat better, to try and get into motion. So you're okay, well, wake up, have breakfast, I'll do a bit of work, take a break. Yeah. Go and do this, trying to rebuild the schedule. But I find it's like I've personally found trying to deal with it. There's days where it just gets a bit more overwhelming, and you're like,
well, it's hard to balance.
Yeah,
then,
and like it hit me like a ton of bricks, and like I like the schedule went out the window, the routine went out the window, and like I had a bad spell for a couple of months, but I was still trying to get through work.
Balance it out,
And I just took the moment to just, boss asked me, how are you feeling? I was like, can I be real? Can I be open? And I told them, and they're like, you know, there was very much like, thanks for telling me, we want to help you. Like, so they're like, you can reduce how much you're doing, you can focus on this one project, and you can work in bits and pieces.
And that's good. Like,
and like, it was nice.
So they're very accommodating then, like for.
But I think it's like that's the whole thing. Like, there's the part of the back of my head says, but of course they're accommodating. You're no risk to them. That's the there's the bad demons in your head talking, but they are just generally nice. They're being very helpful, and it spoils you.
Spoils you. I'm
like, oh no. When I finish, am I going to find the same kind of level of acceptance? Like both acceptance in like being disability friendly, being like gender positive, being queer friendly, and it's like, am I going to find that again? Am I going to find that? Is it going to be as easy again, or am I going to face more difficulties? You know, it's one of the things you kind of worry about, but through the schemes kind of being helpful and meeting different people, and you like, well, you know, like you have difficulties, you know, contact me, we'll see what we can do. Which has been handy. Like, oh, here's my personal number if you need it. You know, when you connect with someone pretty well, you know, you reach that different level of like, well, now it's more than networking. So you get, and it's like, then you get that support. And I find that, I've gotten that support now, and now I'm kind of more emboldened to, like, even though like some days like the fatigue's too much, and you're like I suffer from scoliosis, and it's like
same here, it's a nightmare.
And like some days I just can't get up, and I went to Argus and I got the silver desk tray, and I put my laptop on there, and I just worked just at it for like a couple of days, but then first aid human resources said, that's not good for your back, that's not good for your posture, blah blah blah, blah. I'm like, I guess I have to get up and find the nest. So I went, and the benefit of being getting paid a wage for doing an internship, like I'm very much past the age where I'll take an internship or job opportunity that isn't paying me, because now I know things like, now I know the value of my labor. I know the value of my worth. So I'm kind of like, well, I'm getting paid, so I invested in an ergonomic chair, an orthopedic chair. So now I'm able to actually sit on my desk for longer periods of times. I mean,
do you have to wear the back brace out of curiosity?
No, I'm thankful that I haven't. I wouldn't say exerted myself so much that I have to do that. But it's kept me. It's kind of that. It's a bit of fear.
Okay.
Because I went to uni with someone that did.
That's right.
And be surprised if you somehow got to England in that time. But I find
like, of us, come on now, come on.
I knew you went to England for
exactly. Exactly.
That's how we found out.
I thought we met.
No, like the whole scoliosis thing. Like, what is it? Is yours like a full-on scoliosis? Because I have scoliosis, but mine's is literally, my spine goes down and then just curves slightly.
I've definitely got the
You've got the whole spine.
I got what's the dinosaur, the spiky one,
Spinosaurus. Tyrannosaurus? No.
Tyrannosaurus. But you got the dinosaurs that have the spiky spines and regions. I definitely feel like when I bend over, and it's like, oh, you got to bum, bum.
Oh, okay.
But no, I mentioned to my manager, and they're like, you need to get a better chair. Do you need pillows sitting at the desk? I was like,
could you get us a bed?
Can you give us a bed? Can you give us like
we have a sofa in this other room. Can I sleep there? And it's like, they're obviously pushing, and it's like, no, you can't sleep on your shift. And it's like, but they're like, oh, if you need a place to sit down and you rest, just get up and go sit down one of their lounge or chairs and just rest for a moment and come back.
Exactly.
And it's like that bit of support, especially for anyone like coming in to the city programs, and it's like knowing that they'll accommodate you and want to help you, because the whole point you being on this program is because they want to help people that have have invisibility from marginalized community to get that access, that ability to get in. And for me, that's why I say I'm spoiled, because it's been helpful, but it's opened my mind to like a lot of different things, what I want to do, different things. I've met so many different people, and who knows what the future brings. Like you're going to uni in September. I'm considering it, but I'm now at this crossroads. Do I want to continue where I studied, which is in film and media? Do I want to now go further into games development?
Yeah.
But I'm like, maybe tackle the mental health, discover support and mechanisms to help with neurodivergence, figure out which, is it this, because then you'll be able to come in and work on it better. I definitely was working like 130% at uni without any support. Because I thought, if I can do this one thing, and I've done it by myself, then that's proof that I can do it.
That
but
you can do it,
proof to others. But now I'm like, maybe don't be stupid.
maybe
3 years ago you should have gotten support.
No, I get that. Like
maybe you should have done 90% of it yourself.
You should have got someone to help you.
I think of a lot of people, like ourselves, like that have these different disabilities, do have the mindset of, I want to keep pushing, I want to keep pushing, I want to keep pushing, and then, as you say, you burnt out by doing it, and you're now at a crossroads on what to do next. I was like at a stage like I was going to take and just doing it for the sake of it. I didn't know where I wanted to go or how I was going to get there. And then eventually things just sort of fell into place themselves while I was doing the stuff. Like, so, I get where you're coming from in that way.
So, I think it's like tackle it now. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll miss out this year, but
you can always take
at least next year. At least next year I can spend the time, figure this out, get into routine coping mechanisms to help get the support network, basically build the support network up. Because I think it's like, I joke about saying getting the bingo with student finance, but it's like, I'm definitely going to hit the bingo at some point. Because it's like I'm paying it back obviously now because I'm earning, and I'm kind of like, damn it, I nearly avoided it. I joke like, how long do you have to not have employment or at a good wage to not have to pay this back?
It's like under 16 now, isn't it?
I think it's like
16 and a half.
Yeah, it's like, but now I'm paying it back. Now I'm kind of like, well now.
I wouldn't tell them.
No, see, the problem is, you don't tell them, but HMRC is definitely going to find out. But
hope that they're not.
They find out it's automatic. It's directly in the pay.
I think whatever company you're with, usually they have like a tax thing.
Once they send it off to the tax office, and then the tax office are like, oh, this person's also in receipt of student finance, and then they contact student finance, and student finance is like, so you're finally ready to pay us. But now I'm sitting here like, well, I've done this and this and this, and so I'm like, some people would think that's debt hanging over their head. But I'm paying it off in manageable sums. They're not going to bankrupt yet, but I'm now thinking, I could go and take on higher education, or I could go and take on a training program to better my skills. But I'm thinking at the moment, we'll tackle the mental health things, and then next year, you're probably good placed, because I think they open in February. So I've beginning in the late starts, the August clearing, but I'd rather have a bit more, I guess, choice,
I get you.
A bit more preparation, and like if I take the time, get this sorted, be able to figure out stuff, figure out my own self, and like, who am I, what am I, what am I going to do, and then go on to it, and then who knows, between like now and then, who knows who's going to approach you for work, who's going to approach you for an opportunity, or who's going to just like, who knows, even if you get to that February point and be like, maybe you change.
Like you were saying there, like you could, if you're thinking more about the mental health thing, at least you have the gaming and all that there to fall back on after you're sort of, you feel better about yourself to go and do it then. So it's not like, I suppose it's a bit like university, take a year out to think what you want to do or where you're going, and then once you're finished, you're like, okay, now I'm ready to move to my next step.
Yeah, because like that's what I did when I was, like I said, 130% trying to do everything. My whole fit was, when I was over there, I was trying to help people like help, like because we were doing like working for society, and we're helping younger students, first years, like how to come to terms with being in uni for the first time, all these new kind of things. And we were doing it because we're doing it for a grade, because that was part of our project. But we stuck with it, and we realized, oh, we can actually do
this,
and it's like, and the backwards perspective, oh, this is also helping us. So we're learning things, and we were kind of figuring, well, if I want to try and better my own chances, who's to say my lived experience and my story isn't going to help inspire someone else or help give someone the courage to go and do different things, which is why I jumped at the chance to join you on your podcast. So I was like,
absolutely.
You're showing your story, you're giving people a platform to give out their little lived experience, but it can someone be like, oh, maybe I can do that. I can, it's like when I finished with Cine, I said I can fall back in games. I could potentially go further into that games engine and start doing my own pieces. I could potentially, they encourage us to join game jams where you go and make a game in a short amount of time. I could start my own thing. I could ask friends from the program, hey, I'm starting a little thing. Do you want to help me do a bit of art?
Build your own business out of it.
Yeah, it's like that's
that could be an option actually to start like maybe your own business.
Like,
that could be good.
The opportunities and the ideas, like you'll have a lot more going for you, even if you don't think about it. Like I still think about that sometimes. Like, have I done enough? Have I done enough during this period? I'm thankful that I'm with it, because it gave me the opportunity to get my computer again. After uni, I thought, oh, I'm back at home. I can finally connect up my computer. It's been sitting in a wardrobe for like a year, and I connected in the graphics card, and I just saw a bright flash of like a and I was like, what's that? I hope it's nothing bad. Turns out my graphics card short-circuited. And I was like,
God.
Oh, there's the artist that's been kind of shot in the knee. There's your method of making. And like,
mine just repairs itself. So.
I took the chance. Each paycheck I got for this internship, I've put a bit more towards computer, and I finally got a computer that's capable of letting me go freelance. So cool. It's given me like the financial freedom to like potentially support myself. And like I definitely think that it definitely took a while. There's a lot of thought that goes into it. You kind of have to start thinking a bit more long term. But I definitely think like for anyone that's like kind of looking to get into the industry, be it media, film, TV, radio, games, there's always an in. There's always a way in, either through talking to someone or through training schemes, which we're a part of. You can find out if it's what you want to do. You can learn the skills. You learn so much about what's happening on the inside that you don't really hear on the outside. You're like, oh, how do you get into there? How do you do that? And it's like, oh, this scheme or this website here. It's like, I didn't know that existed.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know this existed. And you find all these kind of different things. And like, I'm definitely kind of hopeful, I guess, coming out of it. See how it goes.
Definitely,
Well, CJ, that was brilliant talk. Thank you for coming on and sharing your story. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to my nonsensical rambles.
Oh no, rambling is good. Rambling is good.
What's a podcast without rambles?
Oh yeah, well, it is a podcast.
But no, as I say, you've shown us a lot there. You've told our viewers and listeners a lot about what your experience has been, and hopefully, as you say earlier on, it inspires others like yourself to move
I think it's
forward.
Like I was hesitating on that application training, be it training, sending a message, sending an email to someone for an opportunity. I was hesitating there, and I was hesitating not being my true self. Trying to make myself up to be the ideal candidate.
Yeah, of course.
But I pressed the button, I done it, and I got feedback from my manager being like, we brought that someone, like, a matter of words, brought me on because I was being true to myself and because I was being a bit more real. And I definitely say, if you're looking for opportunities, don't feel bad to ask. Don't feel like reach out, or even just be like, hey, can I try, or can I just talk to you about this?
I always like to say, pester until you get a response.
Yeah, the thing is, like, yeah, like you're saying, Jared, the worst they can say is no. And it's like, it might feel bad, but like,
get on with it.
At least you tried. And maybe you can.
There's going to be a lot of no's before there's a yes, and that one yes could be the big thing.
Well, that's it. The yes was me getting onto this program and got me free here, and now it's like I've got.
You don't know where it's going to
all
take you
different things to do.
And you've developed skills on it too. So.
100%.
Right. Do you want to close her out?
Yeah. Again, thank you so much for watching or listening, however you're listening to the podcast. Thank you, CJ, as well, for coming in. Let's see you in the next episode.